We're back. Remember we talked to this guy? Yeah, but I don't understand how I have this gun. I should keep this gun. Let's go. Yeah, I don't understand how I have this gun. Let's just say the game kind of crashed. Featuring real monsters from the doomed world. Wow. So I like the way it is. Why is it coming?
When I was little, we'd get freighters in every Sunday noon. Now they only come but once a month. I love the wind here.
Oh, wow, you just lost the wind. That's really good. I don't see the wind.
Don't mess with us.
Alright, let's go.
Here they come!
Good. There's a attacking the cage. Wow, this world.
Everyone all right?
No, I'm not. I just got attacked by a bird. But it's okay. Well. Someone got destroyed here. Someone was living here, catching all these critters. like the road. It's a bad level. Oh, it's someone's house.
Move along, stranger. We don't want any trouble.
Hello there.
I don't know you. Whatever you're looking for, it ain't here. Move along.
What's your problem?
Armed strangers wandering into my camp for one. Some of my camp wandering out for another. Got anything in you besides questions? No, I'm sorry. That was unworthy of me. Lady named Zoe went missing some nights ago. Just up and vanished without a trace. Now I'm pacing around wondering if marauders got to her. It's not like Zoe to go wandering. Figured she might be out scavenging, but that ain't exactly her talent. Can't imagine where she's gone. Vale's a wide place. She could be anywhere. Could do without the gallows humor. Over in the hothouse, tending crop. I'll tell you what I can. Vex me. If she told anybody, they ain't telling me. I'd check her room, but I got yelled at for snooping once already. Little ways ago. She was always obsessing over her serial dramas. Wanted to see what the fuss was about. Could be. Dangers aplenty out there. No telling why marauders would steal somebody like Zoe. Got no useful skill as far as I could tell. Marauder gang just moved into the districts a little ways east. Their numbers are growing. Gotta come from somewhere. Well, enough to know we never got on. Zoe and Stefan were close. If anybody knows the workings of her mind, he does. She was lazy and thoughtless, but she's still one of our own. What is it?
Goodbye.
Yeah, huh? That's on account of how I never met her. I don't rightly know. She was in another division of the Spacer's Choice family. She worked in the Vale a few months, sorting the Canery computers. Her contract said any kids she had, expected or not, belonged to her office from the time of conception. So when I was born, I got sent here. I don't know about normal. Dad said she worked under some kind of special contract. It's sensible. Dad just fixed machines. She did some kind of crazy math, high-level stuff. Better to raise me on his time than hers. You mean about the mission being too clean? I know, but Vicker says the universe is a machine, that it runs by law. Real machines have gunked up oil, scratches, and worn bits. You can tell they've seen handling, been used by folk. The machine Vicker sees is one ain't never been run. It's not for people to live in. It's something on a museum shelf, under glass. Fixing the universe is a job for somebody way better than the likes of me.
Okay. Check out some houses. If I take the power cord, then I'll take them all the time. Take the power cord. Ow, 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 man, that's nuts. Something bit my leg. Okay. I was just looking at that. Oh wow. They do an idiot in now.
Oh gosh, it's so pretty.
What is this?
If you're hungry, there's meat turning on the spit outside. If you're bearing illness, find a place to lay your head down and I'll fetch you a poultice. Whatever your troubles with Edgewater, leave them at the gates and be welcomed here. Any questions, dear?
Oh, she seems much better. Welcome.
I have been called that, among other things. Green Thumb, grandmother, the strange old lady who keeps flowers. But yes, Adelaide will do just fine.
Excuse me, Miss McDevitt? Sorry, it's just... You got such pretty trees in here.
Why, thank you. You're Robert's girl, aren't you? I remember when you were but a sprout. Thomas speaks of you often. Are you staying long? You should try some of my tobaccorn tea. I brew it in an old spittoon, but it's been cleaned. No, dear. The garden belongs to us all. Life is the gift of the universe, and the universe yields its bounty equally, absent of prejudice. The soil around the Vale went sour years ago, but I found a way to sweeten it back up. The secret recipe is a little bit of elbow grease, a dash of love, and a heaping pile of special fertilizer.
Yep, that will do it.
A home for anyone who's ever turned their backs on Edgewater. A home for those of us with nowhere left to go and nothing to lose. So, like the spores of the puffball, cast on the wind and alighting on fresh soil, we put down new roots. It is an unpleasant story, dear. But the short of it is that sometimes one wakes up and realizes the place that was once her home for much of her life has changed. The home in which we spent our lives has left us behind, and so we must move on. And that is as much as I will say on the subject. Reed Thompson, you here on behalf of that cold-eyed reptile? Let's hear it. What's Reed's idea of peace, then?
Hold on. Então já fez.
Like everything else that comes out of Edgewater, that peace offering is canned. I and my own are living just fine out here by ourselves. He would do such a thing. The question is, why would you agree to his plans? Canery's got a regulator. You want ship parts, you ought to rip 'em out of the Canery's guts and leave us be. If you're going down to the plant, you should divert power away from Edgewater and toward our end of the grid. Think about it. You'd be liberating an entire town from a lifetime of service to that odious Canery. Seems the sort of thing a hero would do. Well, if it's all the same to you, then you ought to divert power over to us, shut down Reed's Canery, and scrap it for parts. You've seen that miserable excuse for a town with your own lamps. Hollowed-out workers laboring their lives away at the Canery, living off whatever scrap Spacer's choice throws them. You know that's true, don't you, Ms. Holcomb? Your father died of overwork. His heart gave out.
He was tired all the time, sure, but he was old, ma'am, and he raised me all by his lonesome.
Look what they did to this child. Lost her family to the company, and still she defends them. Life in Edgewater grinds to a halt. The Canery shuts down, workers desert in droves, and our own little camp grows and thrives. You bring power to Reed's town and you'll be killing us. Reed knows it. He's counting on it. I trust you will listen to your conscience.
I do like the
Oh, that's Thomas. He used to follow me around before he left the cannery.
Why? Why would he follow?
If you're hungry, Stefan's got supplies.
If you're hungry, Stefan's got supplies.
What is it?
No, I'm gonna do this next. On. Ah, oh, wait.
Fancy duds. Do the tubes get in your way? You mean Zoe? Yeah, we were pretty close. Not like her to go loping off. Zoe and I were gonna watch the serials, as is our custom. She never turned up. I looked around, but she was nowhere to be found. You sound like some type of corporate fixer asking all these questions. Can't say I recall Zoe ever acting strange. Well, except for her habit of writing things down on scraps of paper. She called it journaling, but I think it's just plain odd. Zoe was always obsessed with this serial. Masked Marketeer. A scion of Byzantium turns to banditry and teaches his marauder companions the wisdom of free market economics. Shame she up and vanished when she did. I had a surprise lined up for her. The other day, I got my hands on a genuine copy of the latest Masked Marketeer. I was gonna surprise Zoe with it, but she was gone the next day. Hey, I got time. Fresh off the limb, and that includes canid meat.
Merchant's Guild. Oh, what is this? Fiber. What is fiber? Oh, so it's a gun. Just the and the biosensor. I just bought something. Wow, that's amazing. Never knew I could buy something in this game. Wow, it's so thinking about it. Oh, we have a guy here. Who are you?
Keep your wits about you, friend.
Alright. Haha, very funny. So, okay. So the point. I'm sorry, I'm just reading these. And Mark is still here. Another notes. Oh yeah, steel post. Security. Who needs the post, right? Oh, there you go, that. Now the market is went somewhere else. Alright, what are we having? Long range guns. Whatever. Oh, a chicken.
Down they go!
Oh, that was an enemy? I didn't know that. Oh, that was no chickens are enemies in this game. Right, what do I do? What do I do? This is a, they know each other. Still need to fix my shit though. Dorados. Hey, I'm just standing next.
Nice hit!
Marauders only as good as, you know, somebody can buy it. That's a home Marauder. Oh, that's why the numbers increased. Just running away. Like, oh, but I like that. There's a shit flying around. I just killed the guard.
I don't know. I'm ready for this!
Heal. I am the heal. Go. Some kill that. Kill us out. And I want a slow. Well, how many guns do I have? That machine gun is 350. Yeah, that's alright. Sentry blade. Machine gun. Oh, I have several somewhere. What else? on. Oh wait, I'll do that one. I'll shoot it. Wait, it was a victim.
Wow, you crossed them all off, like some sort of heroic accountant running down a list. Teach me your ways. Only thing unscrewed around here is the head of that marauder you took down. Never seen moves like that outside my serial dramas. You, on the other hand, you were a sight to behold. If I had half your skills, I'd be the greatest outlaw the coast has ever seen. I'm great at clarifying. I don't know. The vital processes that constitute the miracle of life are mysterious and unknowable. Oh, you mean around these guys? The Marauders wouldn't hurt me. They love me. I'm practically their queen. Yeah, must be my natural charisma. I got kicked out of Edgewater on account of falling sick with plague and stealing some medicine to treat myself. I'd heard some outlaws set up camp in the Botanical Labs. I decided to throw in with them, seeing as I always wanted to be an outlaw myself. Instead, what do I find? But a bunch of former workers camped out around a greenhouse. I couldn't just go back to the Canery, so I was stuck with them. I've got all the time in Halcyon. Why? Adelaide wants me back on garden duty or something? Thanks, but I'm not going anywhere. This is where I belong.
I don't have much say. Oh. Let me oh wait, this one we go. Okay. You better proceed it now.
Ever consider the Marauder life? It's pretty sweet.
Aha, now I can proceed. Intimidate 54. I don't think I can get 54 though, but hey. Looks like I can. Oh, well, I just wasted all my words. But not really. Yeah. I'll just proceed.
Ever consider the Marauder life? It's pretty sweet.
Sure it is.
I doubt that. Nobody in that camp really cared about me. Wait, you're telling me he's got a copy of the Mass Marketeer? Why didn't you say so? I'll take my stuff and head on back, I suppose. Grace is gonna be glaring knives at me, so I've got that to look forward to.
Okay, well, let's go. Find our way in, find our way out. Now we can run faster. Yeah, something really bad happened. So the road is all messed up.
What is it? We didn't always get along, but I'm glad to know she's safe. What happened, anyway?
She ran away.
Zoe joined up with a band of marauders. Zoe. The same Zoe who doesn't know a barrel from a trigger. Well, I've heard stranger things. You pretty much did my job for me. Least I could do is pay you for your trouble. Let me know if I can do something for you.
Yeah, well. Alright, next quest. And I get 2,000 for no damage. Oh, Nation of the Beast. This is an LM real. You have gained golden pistol. That's the geothermal. Flywheel.
I've always wanted to poke around in here.
Yeah, but that thing's gonna fly me.
System alert.
Oh, okay. I'll just go through.
Oh,
Look out!
Whoa, what the? Doing that now. Flying zone. And it's
Not getting through! That's the last of them!
flying zone. I know who's bad or worse.
I'm in security.
Oh, it's that same thing. Jeez. Oh. Right, still up to me, but what would you do? Would you divert power, or would you the other guys seem nice, but the fathers kind of mean. Yeah, sorry, the first one kind of. Alright, well, I'm at the geothermal. Let's see if I can save this game. Save game. Saving. Well, thanks for watching. Let me know what you want me to do. Should I divert power from the Canery or the Batanicle Lab? Do you want people to suffer? Thanks for watching.